going live, and we're live.
Action, action. Hi,
Take
folks.
action, quick.
It's a beautiful day down here on the beach.
Oh, I wish. It's
Me
cold. It's
too.
chilly. How is everybody doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am going to go throw in the chat. We are over here on Jace Souders How to Sell from Stage on Facebook. So if you really want to get into it, this is where we are really running everything. So if you're coming in from any of the other platforms, feel free to come on over to Facebook and learn more about how to sell from stage. I'll put that in the chat here in a second.
Very cool, very cool. And we're talking about the psychology of sales. That sales isn't just a end result action of give me what you got, I give you money. Now, that is a form of sales. Yet when it comes to speaking or event sales or entrepreneurial business or coaching, even brick and mortar little establishments in a chiropractor or fitness or health, uh, all different elements all require there to be some elements in play for the sale to take place. And the sale is more than just that one singular transaction. Um, it's different to when you go to a grocery store and you pick up the bananas, go to the checkout, and don't speak to anyone, just auto checkout and grab your bananas. That little moment seems like a sale moment, yet other things were in play prior to that moment for that person to even show up at the grocery store. Uh, there are base human needs that everyone is acting out of, whether it's conscious or unconscious. And when you can speak to those base human behavior, base human needs in relationship to your product or service, then you're going to have a natural flow to the end result being a sale.
Absolutely. And we're always trying to look at, I was just on a conversation with somebody, and it's so funny the way that we think about sales. Most people are thinking about sales in the typical old school way. If you've had any of the old school training, it's like firing back with objections, and it feels like that, and it doesn't feel good. It feels awful. And I don't like doing sales like that at all. I like doing sales in such a way that it's just the natural next step for the person. And we do figuring out what they need, what they want, who they are, what their dreams are, what they're wanting, so you can expect objections, but instead of like firing at them with their objections, view them as opportunities, not roadblocks. They're not a roadblock. You can anticipate some common concerns and have well thought out responses, but you have to show understanding, and you have to like get on their side, because their objections are very real to the person, and it can be it's scary. You're asking them to take a step that's outside of the norm that they would do, because look, getting into your program or purchasing a big program is like can be a really scary thing, but we know how life-changing it can be too. We know that that's going to push them to the next level, right? So handling those objections, but just it gives you a chance to turn their objections, to highlight the value that your product brings. So you can turn the objections into that chance. So, and then also building really long-term relationships. Sales isn't just about closing a deal. It's about building lasting relationships. It's about really caring about the other person and really caring for their success as well. A lot of people make the mistake of just selling and then walking away, and it's like, I've already sold them, so they're sold. Even if the person is purchased, they're still not sold. They haven't gone through your program. They haven't achieved it yet. Hi, Joanna Walker. Hello. We got a few people coming in. Hi, guys.
Hello. Yeah. And one of the key elements in sales and handling objections and communication in all is active listening, actively hearing what the person is saying, yet more importantly, how the person is saying it and what they're not saying. An example of that is um, let's talk about your previous business. Yeah. So what I'm looking to do now is when they don't talk about their previous business, there's obviously something there that they don't want to share right now. So you haven't really built the trust. So seeing how much people do share and how much people
Sorry.
don't share in any moments, and that's part of the active listening. Now, part of the psychological insight when it comes to active listening is that it actually demonstrates to the person that you have empathy and respect for who they are, and um, making them feel understood in the here and now. And that's a powerful thing. When you can repeat and validate their objection to show that you've heard and understood their concerns, that's going to build trust and empathy and respect with you. And in today's day and age, there's a lot of people on cell phones while there's also a Zoom meeting, or they're looking around. They're not really connected to what you're saying in a group event. So when you're in a group event, you really got to be drawing out their attention by using focus, using change up, state change, using desire, expectancy. These are elements that are going to make the person naturally be curious about what the next moment is. So they're paying attention to you and you're paying attention to them. And then when you come into the sales conversation or the coaching conversation, and they start to bring up an objection, hearing it, relaying it back, and then one of the great objection handling questions is, well, what have you done so far to change that? And then you be quiet and listen to them. Because a lot of the time people become focused on their problem, not the action to change the problem. So when you can switch them from focusing on the problem to focusing on an action to change the problem, then that person is more open to change within themselves.
Absolutely. So you're really learning how to coach people to what's right for them, to making the decision for them. So, when I get on a call, if it's not right for that person, if whatever I have to sell them isn't right for them, I'm not going to sell that person. So it's really like coaching them to make the next. So in that case, they're not the right client. What I'm going to do on that call is I'm going to help coach them to make a decision for themselves that's going to move them forward, whatever that decision is. So you're literally becoming a coach to help them make decisions.
And
And often, go ahead.
And agreeing and redirecting. So you can agree that that's how they feel. You can agree that that's how they see it based on all the information they've had so far. Yet you don't agree overall with them because you know there's something better or different that's possible for them. So agreeing partially with their objection before redirecting helps actually build rapport and reduces their resistance to what it is you're saying, because you partially agree. They're like, oh, okay, you understand. Then you probably, a lot of people that haven't had all the different options explained to them will often feel as though they can't afford it right now. Yeah, that's not uncommon. And I understand when you feel like you can't afford it, yet you really, really want it, that can be an unpleasant experience. So let's look at the different ways you've tried in the past to be able to afford something that's going to be really beneficial to you in the future, and see if there's some other ways that we can potentially help you get more money with less effort based on where you actually are right now.
Absolutely. And then the last final thing is that, building those relationships, back to that really quick, satisfied customers become loyal customers, and then they become advocates for your brand. So you really want to keep selling them once they're in your program so that they actually get the results that they said that they wanted to get. right? And then the world of sales is really dynamic. You got to stay updated on the industry trends and continuously refine your approach, because the old approaches don't work anymore. They don't. And be open to trying new strategies. You know, the ability to adapt and learn is a key trait of all successful salespeople.
Mm. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And also remember that mastering the psychology of sales is an ongoing journey. You know, this is, Jamie and I have been doing this for decades, Go ahead, Jamie.
Decades and decades, and oh my God, we're so
Oh my God, we're so old. It's
Mm.
111.
Lovely. Pardon me. And a great way in your sales approach, when you're communicating about an abstract, say, because a lot of your coaching programs that you're selling are abstract in the fact that they're not like a solid cup. If I were to sell you a cup of coffee, you understand that the shape of the cup may be a little bit different. The flavorings that go in the coffee may be a little bit different, yet it's a tangible something that everybody has experienced for the most part in their life, a hot beverage in a ceramic cup of some form. That's a tangible. Yet coaching, where we're going to change your mindset, we're going to increase your wealth, where we're going to establish a future that's triple-fold or tenfold of what you're currently experiencing. These things can feel intangible. So one of the great sales techniques and communication techniques is create an analogy. An analogy with something that people currently experience, and relate how your program, service, or product fits into that already understood experience. For example, driving a car or having a car. A car is a vehicle that moves you from one place to the next. So you can use that as an analogy for your coaching program. My coaching program is a vehicle that you get in and we're going to drive. Right now, where you're currently at, you have a wonderful vehicle, yet there's no fuel in it. So my 10-step process is the fuel that's going to fuel your life. And then we can move your life forward quicker. And then my morning process is your GPS. We're going to actually program your brain every morning to be able to achieve by the end of the day the destination that you're looking to achieve on a daily basis. So when you can mix in an analogy connected with what it is that you're actually selling, people start to go, oh, I understand that, and becomes less confusing, less unknown, and less scary, because most people are scared of the unknown. And so when you can link it to an analogy, it becomes less unknown.
And analogies are almost like short stories, and we all know that stories sell really well.
Absolutely. Good point, Amy.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat. I hope you guys joined us last week at our was that a week ago already? 2 weeks ago?
I think it was just a week ago. How to Sell from Stage, that 3-day event.
We don't have another event scheduled right now, but as soon as we do, we'll let you know the links to that. And feel free to reach out to us, DM us, or DM any of the black belts here if you want to know more about how to work closer with Jace. We would love to help you.
And for all of those who join, the next time that we'll see you folks is actually with the core writing, actually taking everything you currently know about you, your program, and your product, and structuring that out into such a way that the verbiage and the terminology compels people to want more of it. So for all of you who are joining for that, that'll be great.
And core script writing is awesome, because this is going to be your core script. We're going to go over 2 days. Woohoo! Looking forward to next week. Thank you, Amy and Jamie. Yeah, me too. So core script writing is 2 days of the psychology. So we're not just going to tell you what to write. We're going to tell you why you're writing it, so that you have an understanding of why you're saying it and why you're saying it in the way that you're saying it. And then we're going to get your entire script written. And this is your full hour-long talk. It's your 45-minute talk. It's your 30-minute talk. It's your 15-minute talk. It's your 5-minute one-on-one conversation. It's all of it. So it's really amazing. It really gets your messaging down. So yeah, so if you want to join us for that too, that is going to be November 30th. If you've already signed up for Black Belt, that's available. If you haven't signed up for Black Belt, feel free to DM myself or Jamie, and we will jump on a call and see if it's something that you might want to do.
And also, for those of you that were at the event, you saw Jace. Now, normally his talk is 30 or 45 minutes. He showed you how, with the core scripting, how to create the talk that he's created, how he could do that in a less than 3-minute video grab or podcast grab. Like his whole talk, a whole 45-minute talk, because you have that core structure of the key psychological moments you still want to touch on, how he could take a 45-minute talk and shrink it down into a 3-minute. It was less than 3 minutes. I think that's really great for folks to understand. It was wonderful to watch how Jace could do that. So all of you got to see that. That's what you'll be learning, and that's what you'll be participating in the coming weeks.
Absolutely. Jenny Cohen just said, I love being in Jace's program. And I was just sending you a private message, Jenny. And Trudy was asking, when is that? That's November 30th. It's November 30th and 31st, and then or 30th and December 1st, I think. And then it's the following week. It's 2 weekends in a row. So awesome. Yeah. So feel free, just private message me or just say down below, hey, me, I want, message me or whatever, if you're interested. And just reach out to us. Yeah. Be happy to help you guys. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining. We're always honored that you spent time with us. We know you could spend it anywhere. Jamie, what should they remember?
Hey, folks, remember that it's a tough world out there for everyone. Everyone has some issue, problem, or circumstance that they're working through. So there's something you can do to make the world a better place and to support everybody. And that's as simple as sharing a smile. So when you're out and about, share a smile with a stranger. And if you're adventurous, give them a little wink.